Hello everyone, welcome to week 7 of The Artist Way. We are over halfway now, just over the halfway point, pretty crazy. All right, first things first, immediate confession. I already forgot to do one of my pages. Whoops. We're aiming for 6 out of 7 this week. But this week is called Recovering a Sense of Connection, which I like the vibes of this one. I think I said it previously, some of them have been a bit like, this one sounds good. I've already read the pages and I did quite enjoy these ones. It was about sort of like listening to yourself, like not, what was it? It was, oh yeah, don't think something up, get something down. So with that creative process of stop reaching for the good idea, just get stuff down and, you know, let the good things come to you. Which is, yeah, I think even without like the spiritual vibe of that, it's just true. It's like the more you overthink it, the less likely you are to come out with those good creative ideas. They come from like the free flow. There was a section on perfectionism, which we know last week. Perfectionism was what caused me to get my 6 out of 7 score. And then there was the idea of risk. Again, similar, it was all feeding into each other. Take the risk, it doesn't have to be good the first time. And then jealousy was discussed, which I think is a great one because it is so real. It's like, are you jealous of someone and their creative successes? That's what you want to do. If you're jealous of someone, it means that the things they've got, you want. Are you trying to get those things? Are ya? Yeah, it's really good. I haven't done any of the tasks yet for this week, but I think a lot of them are looking pretty good. There's a lot of practical ones for this week though, which I thought was interesting. They're going less from things to like think about, write down, and you're getting a lot more like things to do, which is good in a way, but not if you don't have a lot of time. But it's good because there's even one that's just like create a nice smell in your house. So like make some soup, burn some incense, a candle, you know. I like that vibe. Wear your favorite item of clothing for no special occasion. You know, I like these things. They're almost just like good reminders of like treat yourself, you know, do the nice thing. And I will admit, guys, we're already on Wednesday and I've not considered my artist date at all. You know what? Should we randomize it right here, right now? Maybe we should. Maybe we should. Because I'm about to film a gaming video, which is obviously, I'm in my gaming filming setup. And I was like, maybe I'll just have to consider that my artist date for the week because I'm so busy. You know what? No, let's randomize and see what we get. And hopefully it's something, you know what? Like every week so far when I've randomized, it's been like something that perfectly fits my schedule and what I need. So let's hope that continues. Random number generator. I can't stop saying it like that now. Okay, 1 to 51, generate 21. What was that thing? What's that, like Vine? Oh, fun. Create a self-portrait. Oh, that's really fun. Okay, what do I think I'm gonna do that with? My brain is immediately telling me like, do it in The Sims. No, because what I was just considering is because I sat down and I was like, I actually think I want to play a new game today. And recently I got Paralives, which I've not played yet. And I also got Outbound, I think it's called. It's like a camper van sort of game. I was leaning towards playing that, but now my brain's like, do I try and make myself in Paralives? But I think that's maybe actually more Crash Out vibes. I've only seen that it's kind of a difficult game actually. So maybe not. Maybe I'll try and do some sort of like painting or drawing. Maybe I'll do some like drawing and coloring later. Oh, that might be fun. Okay, I'll have time to do that today or maybe Friday or Sunday. I've got time. Okay, oh, that's a good one. Create self-portrait. Joy, okay. But yeah, like I said, right now I'm gonna sit down. I think I am gonna play Outbound. I think that's what the game's called. I'm sort of second guessing myself now. Yeah, it is. But I think it looks really fun and I've not played it all yet. So I'm kind of hyped to get started on that. So that's what I'm doing today. And I'll do my self-portrait another day. All right, we are at the end of week 7. We are actually technically a couple of days into week 8. Oh, and I got new glasses. I always feel like it's so strange, like you look like such a different person with different glasses on, so it's always a bit of a transition. But yeah, you will have just seen me do my little self-portrait artist date. Now, I did do that today. I didn't actually get to do my artist date last week. I essentially put it off until Sunday, thinking I've got the whole day free, and then I was massively hungover, so I didn't get around to it. But yeah, I did my little self-portrait, and look, guys, it's not that good. Obviously it's not. But is it significantly better than I thought it was going to be? Yeah, it is. I'd like considered all these different like mediums that I might use. I even thought like, oh, maybe I'll just like make it really colorful, like that might be fun. And then I got so into the actual like sketching of it that like I just wanted to leave it as it was because I was actually kind of proud of it. What do you think? It's like, it's not the most unlike me. Do you know what I mean? I also think it's not helping that it's like on the paper it's like not that far from the actual scale of my head, so you can see where I got things wrong, but I'm actually decently proud of it. And I tried like, obviously I tried like a bit of like the shading, and you know, I've actually found that's one of those things that's like, even if it doesn't look the best, if you draw a face with like no shading at all, it looks so weird and like almost like, I don't know, like ghosty. It's very like blank slate in a weird, like it's weird. Anyway, so that's got a little, oh, it was standing up fine and now I've ruined it. There we go. Thought I'd display it. But yeah, maybe I will go back in and do it in like some sort of more crafty way. I don't know. I felt like I was actually weirdly inspired by the idea of doing a self-portrait. I guess there's just like a lot that you can do with your own image, you know. And it's falling over. Well, that's okay. Have got the windows open because it's 1,000,000 degrees today. Yeah. But yes, let's get into our check-in for the week. So, morning pages. I did 5 out of 7 this week. Forgot a couple there. But I did stick to, I think in last week's check-in, I was talking about how I do kind of need to like guide myself towards discussing more of like the week's themes and stuff, because I often use the morning pages as like a real like diary journal moment, which is good, and I still do that. But yeah, I was definitely discussing like ability to take risks and like why I hold back from things like that, and yeah, that was good to sort of look into. Yes, because the in the book it says, did you allow yourself to daydream a few creative risks? I wouldn't say I necessarily like thought of any creative risks that I could take, but like I said, I was discussing why that's like a tricky thing for me to do. And then it said, are you coddling your artist child with childhood loves? This felt really out of nowhere, and I didn't understand necessarily why it was in the morning page section, but I literally wrote here, like, I often allow myself childish loves. Like, I am not like a, no, you're an adult, you have to do adult thing. I've got my toys, I've got my little things that I like, I've got, you know, I watch kids films, you know, I don't take myself that seriously in like a positive way, you know. I feel like I take myself seriously when necessary, but in general it's like life's for having fun, no? Yeah, obviously next thing is like, did I do the artist date? No, I did not. Well, I've sort of caught up. I'm hoping to do 2 in week 8, including my self-portrait, to try and like sort of catch up, because I really wanted to do the self-portrait as well. Like, I genuinely just like let the time get away from me. And yeah, I did write this. I basically like, I put it off because like when I like randomized it, I really wanted to do it right then, but I had it in my head that I was like, no, I want to do some sort of like, I wanted to like color it, or maybe do it with paint, or like I had an idea to maybe do it with like cutting out like pieces of card and doing like almost like a Picasso vibe in a way, like not quite, but like I don't know, I had all these ideas and I was like, wow, and like, you know, maybe that's like the more risky move to do. So I almost wanted to do that so bad that I then was like, well, I can't do it right now, I'll do it another day. But then that got put off, and I was like, Sunday, I've got loads of time, and then didn't. And then I ended up really liking just doing the simple sketch. So in a weird way, I let the risk-taking idea get in my head a little bit too much. Then we have the, did we experience any synchronicity this week? And I did feel this in a little bit of a way. So recently I have been considering what to do with my backpack. I have a pink backpack and it's got like grass stains or something on like the little front pocket area. It's about like this big, but like it's quite obviously stained. They won't come out. And like, that's fine, like it's not the end of the world. But I was like, maybe I can do something like cutesy to like cover it up. I was like thinking like maybe I could do some sort of stitching, but I like honestly don't really know how to do that. I wasn't really sure. You know, I didn't necessarily want to buy a load of supplies or whatever, because at that point, maybe just buy a new backpack. But then my friend G gave me some fabric paints for my birthday. And actually like a couple of days after, I thought, oh my god, I could like paint on the pocket, like do like a cute little painting, and then it's obviously, you know, it's made for fabric, so it should stick fine and it should be like set and you'll still be able to use the bag and wash it and stuff. So I was like, that's actually perfect. Like that to me was just like this thing that's been on my mind, like I'd really like to like get that fixed in some sort of like creative way. And then the materials came to me, so I thought that was kind of fun. So big up G. Yeah, absolutely perfect solution, which I don't think I'd even considered that, because I was like, I wasn't in the mindset of like, maybe I could buy fabric paints. I was trying to think what I could do with like what I already had. And then the final question is like, are there any issues you found significant? I didn't really find anything like that. I actually this week, despite, I really just didn't have a lot of time. This is it, like at the moment, I'm just really struggling with, whoa, wind. I am really struggling with feeling like I don't have a lot of time to do things. Like I'm not even feeling like I've got a lot of time to vlog during the week. Like I basically got no footage this week. Sorry, there's literally just like breeze. Yeah, so that's something that's like, and then I feel like, am I doing too much of that thing that's discussed in this book with like the, you do have time, you're just not setting it aside for yourself. I'm like, to a certain extent, yes, there is definitely some of that, but then also there is just a lot of, I'm working a lot, I've also got a lot of other things going on, like, you know, and good things like spending time with family and this and that, but it's like, I'm not gonna not go and see my family because I've got to like spend an hour doing an artist date, but then like I've got to travel there, so like if you take an hour out of my day, all of a sudden I actually don't have time to go and do other things. Like, yeah, does sound like a lot of excuses when you say it all like that, but it is some of one, some of the other. But anyway, so that's like the only thing that I found is coming up a lot. But at the end of the day, I'm just giving myself grace. You know, you gotta, this is meant to be like a fun, helpful thing, not something to like really stress yourself out about, I feel like. So okay, so I was just thinking if there was anything else that I wanted to share about this week, like task-wise or anything, and I just remembered this week one of the tasks was, so obviously this was more of like an old school way of doing it, but essentially the crux of it was to create a collage of like things that you like, your dreams, your past, present, future, just like a collage that's so you. It says in the book to do it like grab some magazines and do it that way. That would have been fun, but magazines are so expensive that I was like, you know what's funner than that? Pinterest and Canva. So actually, yeah, let me get my collage up because I'm so happy with it. Okay, here we go. So this is one that I made to hopefully put on the background of my tablet, because I do have my like, this is my like year mood board kind of thing. So I've got this one here, but I thought maybe I could do the Artist Way one on my new tablet. So basically how I did it is I went on Pinterest and I just started searching things that I like, you know, so I've got stuff from like the Hunger Games, I've got Animal Crossing, I've got dance and books and things like that. And I found it really interesting that obviously I was just picking out pictures that appealed to me. And then it literally made this image that I'm like so, I don't know how to describe it. It just feels like so me, like I love it so much. And I'm like, obviously you'd pick the things that you like, but without even trying that hard, I feel like I'm like, I don't know, I feel like this is my soul. So yeah, let me go through it a little bit with you. I'll make it a little bit bigger. You know what, I actually think I'm gonna like screen record this so that you can see it better. So I'll do it a little bit more like this. But yeah, so I've got like this really cute like picture of a bookshelf and it's sort of whimsical vibes. I just thought that was really nice. Then I've got this little picture of like Ratatouille. I think it's like a fan art kind of thing. Because Ratatouille is like one of my all-time favourite films. Weirdly, I do have two things from Ratatouille. That's not necessarily because I love it so much. Just because I looked it up and I found these two pictures that I really liked both of. And I felt like this one kind of indicated sort of like a love of cooking as well. So I'm really into like cooking and baking and stuff. So I thought that was good, but I just really loved like the like aesthetic of both of them. I really like that with so many of the photos I found, like they have almost like a dual meaning for me. Like, so for example, with the books, I love reading, great, but it's also like the aesthetic of it. I feel like with a lot of these photos, it's both the meaning and the aesthetic that are like both aligned with me in a way. I feel like this is a really deep way of describing it, but hopefully you get what I mean. Then we have this little like fan art thing from the Hunger Games, one of my favorite franchises of all time, but I also just love the like green nature vibes. I mean, it's something that I love about like the Hunger Games film as well. I thought that was super cute. And then we've got this little like hiking mountain vibe. I love to travel, I love to hike. I like that this person has a red backpack because I have a red backpack. Then we have, I don't know what I searched for this image, to be honest, but it is just, this one is like pure just aesthetic vibes based. Like it's just got like this little woodland outside the window and it's got these little bottles and plants and just that's the vibes, you know. Then obviously, like I said, we got the little Ratatouille one. I also love that they're just like all hanging out together though. This also kind of felt a little bit like, I don't know, friends hanging out. Sorry to like represent my friends with rats, but I love rats, so. Then we've got this, I'm pretty sure this is Hannah Montana. But this was kind of like representing when I was a child, I really wanted to be like a pop star. I mean, who didn't? So many people did. But I think it like represents my love of like performing and singing, and it's just got that really like 2000s girly pop like vibe to it, which I also love. I feel like I have two wolves in me, and it's like the combo of like the colourful girly pop and like the naturey whimsical vibe. That makes sense. Then we've got this little shot from Animal Crossing 1. I love Animal Crossing. I think I'm gonna show that like my absolute lack of being a fangirl for it though. Don't remember the name of it. Is this Freckles? I'm not sure, but the ducks are so cute. I did also feel like this just kind of represented like my love of gardening as well, like nature, gardening, plants. Then we've got like this little like dressing room. I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. Obviously I love theatre, acting, yeah, and this is just like the backstage dressing room vibe is just unmatched, like so good. Then I've got this cutesy little like cartoon of like some ballet dance moves, which I just think is really cute and fun. Ballet isn't even necessarily like my favorite dance style. Like I love to watch it, but to do it is honestly I don't love. But just something about the vibes of this like casual style ballet, I don't know, that's always really like good vibes to me. Then we've got like this vlog camera situation. I think this is self-explanatory. But I also love the sort of like colourful, messy vibe of this room around the person. I thought that was fun. Then I had to obviously get the Sims in there. But I didn't want to have like the logo or anything. I wasn't sure how to make it like aesthetically pleasing, but I just thought this little shot of someone's build was just great. Genuinely got so many items that I love from the game in there, so that's great. Then this one, I actually think this is a bit rogue, but I got to this picture by searching like dystopian, because I am a big fan of dystopian genre films, books, etc. And I loved that it was like this nature overgrown, like it looks like a subway car or something. There's something in my mind about like the meeting of like city and nature, both places I love to be, with the dystopian vibe to it as well. It spoke to me, and I think that was the point of the collage. And then finally we've got this like super starry, I don't know, Midsummer Night's Dream stage setup or something. Again, acting vibes as well is just like, I don't know, I look at this and I'm like, that's kind of what I want like my wedding to look like or something. It looks great. And then I did also make it in this format as well, because I've got it on the background of my phone. So it's got literally all the same pictures. I managed to fit them all in as well, but they're just obviously set out a little bit differently to fit them. I feel like they look so blurry though. They're not. It's just when you zoom out, I feel like it looks super blurry, but yeah. Just super cute. Not a picture on there that I'm not obsessed with, you know? But yeah, that was the little collage that I did. Just thought that would be fun to share, because that was one of the tasks that I've loved the most so far. Like, there have been some that have been really introspective in like just a thoughtful way, but this one was fun to do. Who doesn't love a little collage? Like, searching Pinterest is just kind of fun. But it was also just like this really weird thing of being like, okay, I like the Hunger Games, tip, tip, tap. And just being like, okay, obviously these are all about the thing I love, but let's find the picture that actually speaks to me in like some sort of vibe sense. I don't know. It was just really good. And then to get the finished product where I was like, yeah, that's me. And I also felt like I do like yearly mood boards kind of thing, but I focus on sort of getting images that are to do with like my goals for the year and stuff. And that's like fair, like that's kind of the vibe of that thing. But my mood board for this year, I feel like does not at all feel as much like me as this collage does. And I don't quite even know how to describe the like difference, but I genuinely feel like just focusing on the things I love and like things that are goals in a way, but not focusing on those specifics really helped. So yeah, I feel like girl didn't even know this task was going to be so influential, but yeah. Also, one of the tasks I did was like, it was something like write down your top 5 favorite movies and then look if there's any like similar themes. Guys, I have to go through this with you so quick. So these are the films I wrote down. 2 will be expected. So I've got The Hunger Games, Project Hail Mary, The Martian, The Revenant, and Ratatouille. Now, when you listen to all of those out loud, first of all, you're like, well, they're nothing alike. Literally, I mean, I guess The Martian and Project Hail Mary, they're both space films, they're both by the same author. But then you've got The Hunger Games, that's dystopian, that's, you know, YA novel. Then you've got The Revenant, like historical drama kind of thing. And then you got Ratatouille. What? Like, none of them are the same. But I was like, okay, common themes, let's think about it. The main characters are out on their own. Now, a lot of films are like this. A lot of films, it's like lone wolf doing stuff for themselves. But all of them have like at least moments where the character is completely isolated, left on their own to their own devices. Now, especially Project Hail Mary, The Martian, The Revenant, that's the vast majority of the film, is that they're on their own. But even with The Hunger Games and Ratatouille was the least, but like he gets left. He gets, you know, he has to be out there on his own, figure it all out for himself. And I was like, wait. And I've not figured out what I think this means about my psyche or if it does at all, but I was a bit like, huh, crazy, actually. Like, that's something I like in a film, at very least. And then I was like, actually, The Martian and The Revenant are very surprisingly similar stories. It's someone who gets stranded, in one case on purpose, in one case not, and then they're like fighting to get home. It's like the exact same story, except it's absolutely not. I thought that was really strange because I would have never like put that together. I also thought a lot of it is like nature and like open landscapes, so not like built up areas. And like I'm including space in that, obviously. But like The Hunger Games, so obviously you've got like the arena, it's nature, it's open, there's no buildings, stuff like that. Project Hail Mary, he's out in space. The Martian, he's on Mars. The Revenant, he's out in the wilderness for the vast majority of the time. Ratatouille, not so much. That just takes place in a city. And something else I thought is a lot of them are like, they find a little buddy. So obviously Hunger Games, we've got Rue, Rip. Project Hail Mary, there's obviously Rocky. God. The Martian and The Revenant, no little buddies, but they are the same ones where they're like fully stranded on their own for most of the film. And then Ratatouille, Linguini, he counts as a little buddy and I will stand by that. But yeah, so these themes of like being on your own, but then finding someone or like being out in nature or, yeah, I don't know. There was a weird amount of correlation that I didn't expect to see. And like I say, I don't know if that says anything deep about me, but just interesting to know that it's like, yeah, those are films that I like. You know, if someone gets left out on their own to like figure it all out and maybe they find a little friend along the way, I'm probably gonna like it. But anyway, I have yapped on long enough now. Imagine when I started filming this clip, I thought, yeah, probably gonna have to combine week 7 with week 8. I've not got enough footage. I forgot I can chat. I forgot. Like I say, week 7 was strange. I feel like I barely vlogged, but I did try and do as much of the stuff as I could, but it was busy. So it feels like I did a lot this week, and equally it feels like I did nothing this week. Don't know how to describe it. But anyway, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. Please thumbs up, comment, subscribe, do the things. And I will see you next week for week 8. Okay, bye.